Tesla is one of the hottest stocks out there. Tesla shares are up 45% year to date, while the S&P 500 is up 15%. Morgan Stanley predicts Tesla stock could surge $400 and then get cut in half in 2018. So if you own TSLA stock or are thinking about buying into this stock, you'd better like and subscribe to this channel because according to Morgan Stanley, you are in for a roller coaster ride.
I don't even know how much I really made. I forgot, it's a lie. Fuck that, never mind what I got. Came up, that's all me for real.
First, let's take a look at this stock for a minute. This chart is beautiful, but pretty meaningless until we add context. What we can do is we can stroll here and go to the weekly chart where every candlestick equals 1 week in Tesla's history. You can see here that the early adopters, the early investors, have been well rewarded for their investments. You see the ramp up of the Roadster and Model S and the X, the announcement of the Model 3, and then we go into the fact that Tesla was kicking butt. Everybody was looking at it saying this is a disruptive industry. It's going to disrupt so many different industries. Autonomous driving was the hot topic. All those things started to happen, and it was a lot of synergy. Ran all the way up to $384 a share, and then whoops, came down a little bit. But this is what's going on. But it's hard to understand where we are in space. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here, and we're going to let's just right click. We're going to insert an analysis group. We're going to go up here and we're going to do 4 moving averages. What I like to use is the 9-day, 15-day, 65-day, and the 200-day moving averages. Now I'll explain that in a later video. But you can see here, if we go back to the daily chart where every candlestick equals 1 day, you can see that it kind of reacts when it comes down towards the 50-day moving average, or my 65-day moving average, as I like the purple one there. And then it starts to go back up, and it's the whole time it's been above the 200-day moving average. But now, because of the Model 3 bottlenecks and other things like that, it's really having a very hard time. See, now the 200-day moving average is above the stock price, and that's a real issue because now that 200-day moving average and the 65-day moving average are resistance that are going to stop it. One of the issues that we have here is that Tesla has been called a cult stock. A lot of times we say, oh, you know, it's not really a cult stock, but honestly, probably is. If you look here, even the founder, Elon Musk, says in this article, I do believe this market cap is higher than we have any right to deserve. So even Elon Musk discusses that the fact that it's just an incredible run-up. It's probably not deserved. However, we look here and we say, okay, what's going on right now? Right now, okay, we had a big drop here for the third quarter results. Not good results at all. And so what did Tesla do? They came out and they said, we're going to make a Roadster, we're going to make a Semi, and you would think that there would be a big reaction to that. There was a little bit of a candlestick here, but just not enough. It came up above the 200-day moving average and then just came right back down. One thing that we can do to just kind of understand where we are in this stock is we can go over here and we can add a trend line. Trend lines are important. Let's see, trend line right there. I'm going to add a trend line. It's important to show ourselves where the resistance is. It's never been able to crack this line, and then also to be able to show where the support is. We're going to add this trend line down here. We're going to just kind of go in here and show a trend line up here. So you can see we have an ascending triangle. That's a good thing in a stock, especially if it's not wildly fluctuating. The more times it touches this bottom trend line, the more support that trend line gives. But right now, we're going to be heading to this next week. We're going to start bouncing back and forth probably between this trend line and the 200-day moving average. And we'll see. It's going to have to make a decision at some point when those two intersect. Is it going to follow the support up, or is it going to get hit in the head by that resistance of the 200-day moving average and bounce down? So if you own Tesla stock, this is going to be a very important week to figure out if we can get above that 200-day moving average. What's happening this week? The only thing that I see on the horizon, okay, first of all, we have the emails, the configurator emails. That's important. It shows that the S-curve, the ramp up for the Model 3 is happening. It's going to be good for Tesla stock price. If we start seeing VIN numbers coming out across across California with previous Tesla owners that are getting their cars first, that are really good numbers that give us an indication that they're starting to roll these Model 3s out, then that will probably boost the stock a little bit. Another thing that could be happening this week is that Tesla could get a huge windfall of money from the South Australia project. And let me just show you what's going on with that. If we go here, let's see, we'll go to this article. You can see here that Tesla did a little trick, and it's a smart trick. Elon Musk said Tesla will get the system installed and working. Well, there we go. Tesla will get the system installed and working 100 days from contract signature, or it's free. Okay, so that was pretty smart, because that means that they get to log the expenses of building this mega battery, but they don't have to account for any mile marker payments that they've received from South Australia or the final payment until they have accomplished that goal. It's because he said it's free if we don't reach it. So that means that we could have a huge windfall that could be announced on Friday what the numbers are. Another key important thing about the Australian battery is that we understand kind of the cost of that battery. It says here, Tesla could lose in excess of $50 million if it's unable to meet its promised deadline. So we understand that the cost of the battery is about $50 million, maybe a little bit more. But how much is this going to be sold for? The battery is part of a $550 million plan by South Australia to help guarantee its power supply after a string of blackouts over the last 18 months. The state has not indicated how much it is paying Musk for the battery. So we still don't know how much Australia is paying Tesla for this battery. But we know that the cost is about 50. And 50 million, basically they want to be at about a 25 to 30% profit margin rate on those. So we can extrapolate from that about how much Australia is going to have to pay Tesla for this. And that should hit the bottom line immediately as soon as this is done. So this promise was made on March 1st, September 1st, or basically the beginning of March. Basically, the beginning of September was when the contract was signed, so that looks like December 1st is going to be our date. And if that is announced, how much profit they're going to make, that's going to go straight to the bottom line and could really boost Tesla this week. So really, the only two things that we have that could really influence Tesla's stock a lot this week that we can anticipate is the configurator, how many people are getting that email for the Model 3, what kind of ramp up is happening, what kind of bottlenecks are being solved, and then, of course, how much money did they make off of this battery in Australia? Because the big boys up at Wall Street are going to have to recognize that Tesla is more than just a car company when they have a huge bolus of money that shows up because of one of their peripheral businesses. Keep in mind that I look at that as definitely being a disruptive industry, the storage of energy. So also this week, we're going to keep an eye on the trend line and see if the trend line can hold. That's very, very important. If the trend line can hold and act as support, and if it can break through the 200-day moving average this week, that would be a very, very good week for Tesla, and it will bode well for the future of the stock, especially as we head into the fourth quarter here with the ramp up of the Model 3. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, hit the ding. This is timely information because, of course, there's going to be some issues with the stock. It's a very, very volatile stock, so you're going to want to know the most up-to-date information as fast as possible, so make sure you hit that ding. Peace out.
Little bitch.